Welcome back. Welcome back to Reid on the Record podcast. I am your host, Frank Schumpert, full-time instructor with John E. Reid and Associates, a former law enforcement officer from the state of South Carolina. Dan, welcome.
Hi, Frank. How are you?
I'm doing great. Are you some bum
Nice.
that just wandered in off the streets and
I am. I just,
gave a
I wasn't doing nothing. So somebody said, hey, put on these headphones and listen to this guy talk. So I'm listening to you talk.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. yeah,
As you can tell, Dan is a humble individual. Dan, you've
yeah.
been with John Reid and Associates for, I think you're out of your
Too long, Frank. I've
probationary.
been there too long. Yeah. No, 51 years, Frank. Yeah.
51 years. That is
I
excellent.
know. I
Wonderful.
know.
How
Yeah.
long how long has our company been around?
Since 1947.
1947.
Yeah.
Boy, 2047 is going to be rolling around upon us. Hopefully, it's in the stars that I will live to see that one day. We shall
Yeah.
see.
The
Hopefully, we'll
hell
see.
I won't though. Unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, I will have a bronze
Or you
statue
can,
built.
what do they call that? You can freeze me and thaw me out then when it comes time.
I think they have to cut your head off for that, Dan. I think
Uh, well, we just put me in the cold then. Yeah,
we'll do that. We'll do
yeah,
that. Yeah, that's right. Although knowing your luck, instead of
yeah,
being awoken in 20 years, you'll
yeah,
be awoken in like 1,000 years
yeah.
when
There we go.
yeah, our planet's been overrun by some alien race
Well,
and they're
that's
standing
sooner
about.
than you think with all
Yeah.
this
Oh, that's
stuff
right.
coming
Yeah.
out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So you've been
I
following that,
know.
the UAP stuff. How about that?
Yep,
You know what? We should have a behavioral reaction video to some of those eyewitnesses that have been given some congressional testimony. I think that would be really good.
it would be. It would be.
Although
I'm on their side. I am on their side. I'm one of those, Frank.
my biggest fear though is that I'll see a bunch of truthful type of behavior. Then what's it going to say about the universe I live in, Dan? It's going to say
Well,
some.
yeah, it's changing. Yeah, yeah,
That's it. Yeah, our
yeah,
understanding of it is changing. That's
yeah,
some
yeah.
really, really cool stuff out
yeah.
there. Speaking of cool
yeah.
stuff, this episode is going to be a little bit different. And by different, we mean special. We're going to have some additional material to present to everyone that is tuning in. Speaking of tuning in, if you are listening to us on Apple or Spotify podcasts, you could do Dan and myself and everyone here at John E. Reid and Associates a huge service by clicking that like and subscribe button. More importantly, if you're on Apple Podcasts, leaving us a 5-star review is always, always appreciated. And we are averaging well over 500 downloads per episode on the podcast world. So if I could just get maybe 10% of you just to take about 2 minutes of your time, go down there, leave us a review, we would really,
Yeah.
really appreciate it. And we are also on YouTube as well. Subscribe to YouTube, but more importantly, you can help us by sharing this channel with somebody who is interested in interviewing and interrogations. We would really, really appreciate that. So, Dan, this is
Yes,
what we
Frank.
have lined up for us today, sir. We have a reaction video that was sent into our office. So we will be doing a reaction video to it. The name of the video, I believe this is a YouTube short. The name of the video is, let me see if I can see it, Why Innocent People Confess to Murder, end quote, Reid Technique Exposed. Reid Technique
Ooh.
Exposed. Now, this video, amongst others, and I'm not sure if the algorithm is just messing with their heads at this point, but we've been getting more and more videos like this. Because of that, Dan and myself, we've had to kind of call in some of the big guns at John E. Reid and Associates, haven't we, Dan?
Yes, we have, Frank.
That's
Bigger than
right.
you and me. Yeah.
That's right. Bigger than you and me. We have had to reach to somebody that is more knowledgeable in a lot of these areas and who can respond more effectively. So, Dan, can you
That
tell our listeners and watchers about who we are going to be
we're going to have
listening to?
president of John Reid and Associates, Joseph Buckley, and Joe has just a wealth of information to share with us on some of these attacks that we've had, and certainly the legal aspects of all this.
Oh, yes, yes. So Joseph Buckley, president of John E. Reid and Associates, he has been extremely busy. This isn't, an Apple-sized company, but there's a lot of moving parts to it. And Joe has a lot of plates that he's been juggling. And thankfully, though, he managed to scrape out a little bit of time, and he has recorded some videos for us. What I have done with some of my listeners is I have forwarded their questions on into a consolidated sheet, and I have given it to Joseph Buckley. He has recorded some answers to some of these questions. Since this video is about innocent people confessing, allegedly, innocent people confessing by the Reid technique,
Yeah.
Joseph Buckley is going to be giving us at the very end of the episode a pre-recorded, an answer to the question, why do innocent people confess? What are the variables? What's the principles of this? What the heck is going on with it? And
Right.
also what John E. Reid and Associates does to safeguard the innocent people from ever being in a situation where they're even being interrogated in the first place. So, uh, Dan,
Exactly. Yeah.
I think we
Good.
should call this a word from Joe segment. What do you
I
think?
I think that's good. Let's take a vote. Aye.
All right, let's take a vote.
Okay.
All right. Well, I
Yeah.
think you count as three. I only counted
I
like
don't
one
know
and
if
a
that
half.
about
So
that, Frank. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah. Well, with that being said, what we're going to do for our listeners, I am not here to run down another YouTube content creator. And where critics of the Reid technique offer substantiated, fair, and reasonable critique of our methodology, I am all ears and I would love to listen to what you have to say. With that being said, I have never seen this short video before. I have never interacted with this video, so I'm going to hit the play. Now, there will be in the show notes as well as the pinned comment a link to the original video, so you can check the video and the channel out for yourself. So, are we ready to go?
We're ready, Frank.
All right, let's do it.
Did you know innocent people confess to murders they never committed? And it happens more than you think? Police use something called the Reid technique.
Oh boy, there's already some claims being made here in this video, isn't there?
Well, police do use the Reid technique. A lot of police use it. A lot of police use it in the way that we teach it. And if it's used in the way that we present it at our programs, and there wouldn't be a false confession.
Exactly, yes. For those of you that have taken our seminar, we have our core principles and best practices. One thing that I've been noticing, Dan, about a lot of these videos on YouTube, and this isn't particular to our critics, but I'm not sure if this is AI or what it is. They did spell Reid correctly, though, but it has a really mean-looking officer up there pointing to it, dark, lighting. So we can pretty much tell that we're probably going to get a fair shake off of this. But
Yeah.
all right, but I'm real curious about the claim.
Yeah.
Many people have confessed to murder that didn't do it. Where are you getting this information? Where are you getting it? I mean,
Right. And
all right,
more
yeah.
importantly, where are they getting that the Reid technique was responsible for that?
Exactly. Yes, yes. To my knowledge, there's no database of interrogations where the federal government collects it and you have a drop-down box and you select what methodology you were using in it. But let's let him get away with it. The artwork is kind of cool. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what it is. I'm going to give him a D minus right now. Not an F just because of the graphics I think are cool. So
It's psychological warfare disguised as questioning. First, they use maximization.
there is that claim again. Have we encountered another video like this?
Yes, we have. There's a lot of people that throw these terms around, Frank, in challenging the Reid technique. But again, the words are there, but no explanation of what they're referring to.
Exactly. Psychological warfare. Can you give us a definition of it? Now, this is a YouTube short, so what they're doing is they're going to shotgun blast a lot of information out there. For those of you who are interested in debating tactics, you will also see this from a deponent during a debate. They will go out there, shotgun blast a whole lot of stuff. One of the shotgun blasts that they have, one of the groupings that I noticed, is people confess to murder falsely. The Reid technique is used in those false confessions. Psychological warfare. So they already have three claims right here that you would have to take apart if you were debating this person. So let's move on here.
Lie about evidence, claim they have DNA, witnesses, fingerprints, even when they don't. They make the crime scene worse than it is.
So is he describing the Reid technique, or is he describing what is acceptable by the United States Supreme Court? It's
He's
not
not
entirely
describing the
clear.
Reid
Yeah,
technique.
he's not
He's
describing
just
us. We
no,
don't teach that, but
no. In fact,
what is
we
he
say
where's he
not to
getting
do
this?
that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
as you said, Frank, is that the United States Supreme Court has said it's permissible to lie to suspects within reason.
Mhm.
And we do not advocate lying to them in this regard about false evidence.
Exactly. Yes, yes. And if they were to take our seminar, we have our best practices. We go over and we say, "Hey, this is what you're allowed to do. This is what our recommendations are. And what you're allowed to do is here, but our recommendations are always, way more stringent than, even what the
Right,
Supreme Court has in that." So,
right.
Then comes minimization. They offer you an out. Maybe
maximization. Why do they say maximization and then minimization? It seems like they confuse the alternative question with theme development sometimes.
Yeah. And again, what are they trying to get at here? Maximization, minimization.
I know.
Killed
I'm
him,
not.
didn't kill him? What does that mean?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, and again, it's a lack. So if you want to criticize the Reid technique, if you're watching us, you're deciding how an angle of attack, I would recommend defining your terms before you do this. Like he has not defined what minimization is. Maximization, I haven't even heard of that. So I'm not quite sure what's happening here. But let's again, the graphics are kind of cool. I mean, I
Yeah.
have to say it has like a noir feel to it. These little lamps really
Yeah, yeah,
glow. That's
yeah.
kind of
it was self-defense. Maybe you didn't mean it. Just tell us what happened.
Nah,
Okay, do we
that's
give them a legal justification?
no,
What?
no, no, no. And I'm sure some investigators do make that mistake of giving people legal justification, but that is not the Reid technique. Actually, I don't really think it's any uh, technique that's out there that a person would want to teach someone to give a legal justification for what the person did. Mistakes, that would be a mistake to give them a legal justification, especially if you're dealing in a homicide. Was it just self-defense? Was it an accident? Um, you want the truth. And, certainly in the Reid technique, we're attempting to explain the circumstances based on the facts and evidence that has come about from the investigation, and themes are developed based on that, not on just an easy out.
I wonder what the prompt was for this AI picture that I'm looking at. I wonder
Hmm.
if it was white male subject, looks sad, hands on his head, and then it's like his left leg is like going through the bed. So I don't know if the
Yeah,
AI,
yeah,
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 you can
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
see that.
yeah,
So definitely
yeah,
some AI use right
yeah,
here.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm playing around with AI. I've gotten some really cool stuff. I think there is a lot of use for AI in subject workup sheets. The factual analysis phase, gosh, AI is
Hmm.
going to be crushing that part. So let's move on here.
After 12 hours of this, no,
12 hours of, okay, wait a minute. Am I missing something? Let's go back. Hang
12
on one
hours, no
second. Yeah,
sleep.
yeah, yeah. Wait. What are they talking about?
just tell us what happened. After 12 hours of this,
Where do we teach to do 12 hours of an interrogation?
We don't. We
Like,
don't.
I mean, after 12 and no sleep?
Why? Yeah.
Like, I mean, you
Let's
know
make
what?
it
It's so,
let's make it you know also is that how about did they come to the point where we're talking about pulling out their fingernails and
yeah.
setting their toes on fire? What's going on here
Well,
with
that's
these
step
people? I mean,
10, though. That's
yeah,
step 10,
just
Dan. That's,
you know stick to the truth, and that is not what the Reid technique is about. uh and this is just bad exaggeration.
well, so what they do is this, okay? Is there's a false equivalency happening right now with our technique. They are taking police misconduct and conflating this with the Reid technique.
I think really, Frank, yeah, I agree. And I think if they really stuck to the truth, to them, these videos would be boring because there's nothing sneaky about what we're doing. There's nothing illegal about what we're teaching. But in order to make it entertaining for them or to appeal to people, they have to make it appear that way. And, that's just plain wrong.
I know, yeah. And a lot of people making these videos, they have no stake in this. They're not going to be
No,
on a phone with the victim. They're not going to be in front of a suspect. They don't care. You
no,
know, they're
no.
it's it's like driving by and hoping for a car accident. So there's not a
Yeah,
car
yeah, yeah,
accident, so you
yeah.
just lied that you saw one. I mean, that's what
Right.
these people are.
No sleep, no food, isolated in a small room, your brain starts breaking down. The Central Park Five, 5 teenagers confessed to rape and murder, spent years in prison, all innocent. Brendan Dassey.
So I have a question about the Central Park Five. Why does John Reid and Associates name keep why is that always associated with that, Dan? What the hell is going on with this?
I don't know, Frank, but we had nothing to do with that. Um, the investigators did not use the Reid technique. I don't know. I have no
Well, if
idea.
we had nothing to do with it and they didn't use the Reid technique, every single critic out there talks about the Central Five.
Well,
Every
it's a big case.
single one of them does. Yeah, I
It
mean
is
it's
a well-known case. And I think when you start talking about that, anything now associated with false confessions, drag Reid into it.
hmm
Reid must have had something to do with it as their
Well,
kind of
yeah, yeah,
philosophy,
and
or
yeah, they're
and
a
Brendan
solution.
Dassey.
Yeah.
Brendan Dassey, where is he right now? You know where he is? He's in jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is that a false confession?
Well, he's actually innocent, Dan. Okay, he's actually innocent. He's put in
Well,
there by the
what is he,
system.
what is
That's
he,
it.
but is he just, like renting a jail cell? Is that a place
Yeah,
what is it? Yeah.
I know, man. Gosh, all right. Let's see what else these people have got.
16 years old, confessed to helping murder Teresa Halbach. His confession was pure fiction created by interrogators. These
Who
techniques are
said, who's,
What?
who the hell said it's fiction?
Who
Who the
said
hell
it's the?
said
Yeah, yeah. I
it's
know.
not.
Where did that come from? Like, who said that? I would like to know that. Like, where did that happen? How
Even
did that happen?
Netflix,
Yeah.
when they aired that, um, they tried to explain a little bit on the victim side, which in many of these cases is totally ignored by a lot of these critics. The victim that was brutally killed and that, but you don't hear anything about that. However, is that, to make it again more entertaining.
hmm Whoever put the AI prompt in here, miserable map. What is this? What is this?
I
So
think
they have
it's, yeah. Yeah.
bands, but here, let's go back just a little bit. Let's see what we
by
got.
interrogators. These techniques are banned in Britain, Germany, most of Europe, but still standard practice here.
What is banned there? What?
A lot of these areas
Yeah.
have used peace.
hmm
Okay. Uh, However, is that they fail to mention with the peace method, or whatever you want to call it, is that the suspect has a right to an attorney, I believe, but the attorney cannot say anything. They can't interrupt.
hmm
And that I believe also, and I could be wrong in this, but their failure to say anything can be used as evidence against them.
Yeah. So in
And they can,
Europe,
and also
yeah.
a lot of these methods too, they fail to mention about the promises that are made or the threats that are made to an individual.
You see, in Europe, you don't have a Bill of Rights, no right to remain silent. You can have an attorney, but they can still talk over you. They can still continue the questioning. So the peace method might work very well in that system which, by the way, we're not knocking the peace We teach it here at John Reid and Associates. It is one of our offerings. I have to throw that out there, but it is something that developed in Europe for Europeans. I mean, it's like,
And
so what if?
with the legal system that they have, not the U.S. legal system.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, is Europe of 2026 the model for anything in the United States at this point? Their
No.
economy's trash. There's a demographic collapse. Their civilization is being frayed at the edges of it. They can't even put together a coherent military response to Russian aggression in Eastern Europe. Britain has completely neutered their navy. They have what, like six or four submarines left. They barely have any destroy. I mean, it's like, why do people point to Europe? That for all intents and purposes has been on a steady decline in the past 75 years for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now, for healthcare, they've got us beat. I'll tell you that. But, uh,
Well,
I would
maybe
like to
not
get some
so,
free
Frank.
stuff, but yeah,
Well,
I
it's
guess not.
free.
I
It's
guess
free,
not.
but how
Yeah,
long do you
yeah,
have to wait before you can
yeah,
see a doctor? And
yeah,
what
yeah,
doctor are you
that's
going to
true.
see?
Yeah.
So, when you talk about free stuff and that, it's nice to say it's free, but
And not, yeah,
there's always a catch with everything.
and not only that, but if you want to talk about the UK, look at those gangs of sexual offenders that the police never moved in, investigated, and shut down, uh, because they couldn't record their race. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, uh, need we talk about that? You have members of their parliament who are openly members of pedophile groups. I mean, and I'm not knocking Europe. In America, we've got some weirdos. We've got some losers. We've got some weirdos. Okay, but this whole thing of, well, in Europe they do it this way. Who gives a who cares? Who
Right.
cares? Okay, they do it in Europe. It's just
Right.
it, and not only that. Um, uh, Talk to some Americans who have been locked up abroad in Europe. Talk to
Mm-hmm.
them. Okay. One of them whose podcast knocking us, we will be doing a review of. Uh, this poor, uh, this poor person had no Bill of Rights. That's what happened to her. Go to a country with no Bill of Rights. Enjoy your police interrogation.
Right.
Remember this, they can lie to you about evidence, but you don't have to give them the confession that seals your fate. Stay quiet or become their success story.
Okay, that ended very,
Wow.
very abruptly. You get to see my nerded out
Did you
videos
know
there.
innocent?
Sorry about that.
Okay.
So, all right, that's the
What kind of advice is that?
yeah, it was all right,
Yeah.
that was the video. We
How long was that video?
less 1 minute 7 seconds, I
Watching
believe.
that, you'd be a 1 minute and 7 seconds stupider. I
You're
really do
ruthless,
think
Dan. You're
so.
ruthless, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the video low IQ part of that kind of speaks for itself. Uh if you are someone who's just browsing around and you happen to come across that, come just visit our channel or take a seminar, learn how to do it the right way. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
absolute crazy stuff right there. Do you have any more thoughts on that, Dan? Any more
I
thoughts
don't
at
want to
all on
give
that?
any more thoughts to that, Frank, at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't deserve any more thought.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. It really, really doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
But do you know what? I will tell you this, Dan. I, like you, though, I often wonder sometimes. You know what I wonder?
What's
I
that?
wonder, why do innocent people confess to crimes that they didn't commit?
Right.
I wonder that. And me and you had a conversation about that. And this brings in the big guns, doesn't it?
It sure does, Frank.
I think it does. That's right. We're going to be introducing a word from Joe's segment. This is the special I ask you to stick around for. What I'm going to do is I will be playing a video that Joe has been kind enough to send us, and it's going to answer that very question because I got curious about this. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to work for a company that's going to uh, be responsible for false confessions or
Their
anything
students.
like that, right? I don't want to
Right.
be responsible for that. So
Right.
what we're going to do is I'm going to be playing a video. I have the video up, and let's listen to what Joe says, and then let's offer our thoughts after that. What do you think?
Sounds good, Frank.
All right, Joe, if you could, why do people give false confessions?
Thank you, Frank, for that question. I appreciate it. And it's a common question people have. Why would someone confess to a crime they did not commit? I would never do that. That's what most people think. Well, when you look at false confession cases, in almost all instances, and the court, of course, the courts have been looking at this issue for many, many decades. But when you look at false confession cases, some of the common denominators are primarily that the investigator involved and engaged in coercive behaviors, such as physically abusing the subject or threatening to do so, making promises of leniency. You tell me you did this, you go home tonight, we'll get the rest of it straightened out, down the road. When in fact, if he makes his admission, he's going to jail right then and there. Denial of the subject's rights. If a person is in custody, they've been advised of their rights, told they can stop answering questions at any time. If they want to talk to a lawyer, that can be arranged, etc. And so during the interrogation, the subject says, "Look, I'm done. I want to talk to my lawyer." We'll get to the lawyer later. We'll get to him later. Or the subject says during the interrogation, "Look, I'm done. I don't want to answer any more questions. I'm not talking anymore." And they continue on the interrogation, even though they're supposed to stop at that point. Denial of the subject's physical needs. He's been there for 8 or 9 hours. He hasn't had a chance to use the washroom yet. He hasn't had a chance to maybe get a glass of water, that kind of thing. Threatening inevitable consequences are another cause or contributing factor to false confessions. If you don't tell me you did this, I'll make sure you never see your kids again. Threatening that down the road there's going to be that consequence if they don't cooperate, if they're not helpful, etc. So there are a number of different causes, but almost all of them have in common the investigator acted improperly, did and said things that were inappropriate. And the length of an interrogation is a major issue. For example, one study that looked at false confession cases found that the average length of a false confession case was 16 hours. That's a long, long time. I mean, we teach that if you're interrogating somebody and they're adamant in their denials 3 or 4 hours into it, you might want to step back and reevaluate things, not continue on for the next, 8 hours for a total of 16 hours. I mean, that doesn't add up, doesn't make a lot of sense.
That video right there, just, I mean, if you follow that, uh, you are good. You are gold, right, Dan?
That's right. That's right,
Straight out
Frank.
of our
Is
best practices. That's
it
just,
is,
yeah, yeah,
and it's the right way to deal with situations like that. It's almost common sense when Joe says this, but a lot of times common sense isn't that common. And if investigators, no matter what they're saying or doing, if they're not even following the Reid technique, they follow those guidelines, those principles, they are going to avoid the false confession.
exactly. Yes, yes. And everything that he just said, if you look at the video short that we watched, imagine no sleep, imagine no food, imagine isolation. Did Joe say to do any of those things? I mean,
No,
it's just yes.
that's stuff that like you hear uh, prisoners of war being treated in that regard. You know,
Exactly.
you
Yes,
know,
yes. Yeah. That
when they're
isolation, that kind of
yeah. I mean, come on.
it's terrible. Yeah, yeah. I mean, but for the critics out there and for the creator of the video that me and Dan did a reaction video on, you are more than happy to reach out to us. And if you are thinking of creating a documentary or criticizing the Reid technique, we are available to go on the record. If you have any questions, reach out to us. But the days of the critics just saying stuff about us without even reaching out to us, things that are just blatant, I mean, they're just untruthful. I mean, there's no more excuse for it now. So, moving forward,
Okay.
we will be having regular A Word from Joe's sessions, A Word from Joe segments. So be sure to
And
stay tuned
also,
to us.
please,
Yeah.
if you have questions that you'd like him
Yes.
to address, please address your questions to Frank and myself, and we will make sure that get Joe to address certain areas that
And
you'd
we are an
like
open
covered.
book. Yeah, we're an open book. There's no area that's, forbidden for us to talk about. Anything, any question, any concern that you possibly have, bring it to our attention.
Right.
Or come on here and talk to us about it. That'll help us create some content. So,
That's right. And, we'd like to extend, I think, too, is that any of our listeners that have expertise in certain
yes,
areas of
yes.
investigation, we'd certainly want and encourage you to come on our show and give us some of your insight into dealing with suspects in certain types of crimes that you've had a lot of experience dealing with. We want that, and we certainly would
Exactly.
like you to share that knowledge with us as well as our listeners.
100%, man. 100%. That's it. Well, Dan, thank you for stopping
Frank,
by, sir. Greatly
thank you,
appreciated.
Frank, again.
That's it. Yes, sir.
Okay, and
Until
thanks,
next time.
Joe. Yeah.
That's it. Thank you, Joe. That's it. All right.
All right.